Hello everyone. Right now, I'm in conversation with Dr. Sonia Sharma, who happens to be a mother slash dentist slash author, and we are here to discuss about the importance of passion in our lives, as she believes she is a doctor by profession and an author by passion. Okay, so what does it mean to have passion?
Hi, good evening to everybody. Passion, by definition, is a very intense emotion, which could actually be a positive emotion or a very negative emotion, because more often than not, it's devoid of reason. It's an intense drive to overmaster the skill that you're passionate about, and sometimes this drive is so strong that it deviates you from the worldly ways of life. The good news is most of the people we know, they know how to keep it under check. Now, what does it mean to have passion? Yeah, I think it's very important to be passionate about something because it makes you human. But difficulties in drawing parallels between passion and profession. There's a very few fortunate ones who could nurture their passion into a full-fledged profession and still could foot their bills. But for most people, the passion simply languishes in their backyards, I guess, like a long-lost hobby, till they can finally start to work on it. For some, it could be gardening. For others, it could be some art form. And for me, I guess it was writing.
Okay, so what are the examples of passion?
Exactly, like I said, for some it could be gardening, for some it could be any form of art, a painting or a sculpting or cooking, baking. For me, it was writing and reading because I had been reading a lot over the years. So, yeah, it was writing for me.
Why is passion important in your life?
To sum it up, yeah, like I said, it makes you human. But not that otherwise you aren't. But in our lives, we live for others more than we live for ourselves. Most of the time, we are trying to fit in this world, wanting to look a particular way for a particular event, trying to meet the work deadlines, taking care of our families, and whatnot. And not for a moment think it's anything wrong. It is something we all need to do to coexist in a society. But then comes the passion, something that you had always wanted to do for yourself, for your own happiness, the little something you do for your own sanity. For me, I find it liberating jotting down my thoughts on paper. Yes, you are opening yourself to judgments by doing so, but then what the hell? As long as it pleases you, you should be okay with it. Remember, passion is more often than not is devoid of reason. You indulge it because you really, really want to do it.
Wow. Okay, so how does one develop passion?
Now that's a tricky question. You can never develop a passion by design. Exploring one, well, yes. So we all humans have a very strong sense of purpose for one thing or another. Most of the time, it remains embedded in our self conscious. The only thing one can do is by some soul searching, and trust me, that's no mean task. I think that's where your elementary school education comes in handy, where from the very childhood, the children are exposed to a plethora of curricular activities which might help them in finding their calling. At a later stage, well, just keep looking what interests you. If you find something interesting, look deeper. I guess the detail is in the process, because if the process bores you, it definitely isn't your thing. It's pretty much a hit and trial method. As for me, it didn't come easily. I used to write poetry when I was a teenager, wrote some lullabies when my kids were born, and then I got busy pursuing my own profession as a dentist. It took me nearly 23 years after that to get back to pen and paper, or my MacBook for that matter. And I wrote a paragraph first, a chapter then, and before I realized I had authored my first book. And it was then I recognized that I was passionate about writing, about the stuff I write, about the process that I enjoy immensely.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, would you like to add anything about your book?
Well, I have authored 5 books by now. One is a series of 4 books called Afterlife. So the 3 of the books are out already: Afterlife, Afterlife 2, and Afterlife 3. The 4th is still pending. There's another book of mine which talks about abrogation of Article 370 in the state of J&K by the name of The Battle Ahead. And I think it's an interesting read, and it's very close to my heart because it comes from a place where I belong. And the fifth one is short stories. Yeah, that's the Imperfect Lives. It's about the lives of people who are not perfect in their attributes, but then, it's important that we do not judge people on what they do because we do not know their backstories. So there are these 10 stories of strength of imperfect lives of people who have made through their journeys, even with their imperfections. And I think without being judgmental, we can just accept people the way they are.
That's amazing. Okay, you can find these books on Amazon. And thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Sonia
you.
Sharma, for being here.
Thank
I
you
really
very
appreciate
much.
it.